And now it's all to be decided by the iconic symbol of this story, the man behind the Guy Fawkes mask, V. This character really has become something of an icon. When you see a Guy Fawkes mask, you know exactly what it means, or at least you can usually find somebody fairly quickly who knows exactly what it means. Here's a vigilante whose true name and identity are never known. His story before he became V is a mystery. And once again, the two characters from the book and the movie are definitely different. V from the book is portrayed as more cold and ruthless, with virtually no human emotion. He'll kill anyone who gets in his way without even thinking about it, and as we already mentioned, he's also an anarchist. He believes that people should rule countries and not governments, and he's prepared to do whatever it takes to bring this about. The way he accomplishes this is pretty clever. Despite his ruthless nature, the only government officials that he actually kills are people that have wronged him personally or people that get in his way. What he does instead of killing people in the government is set events in motion so that they eventually destroy each other. Additionally, he goads the people into action by giving them leave to do what they please. The explosions that he sets off are really nothing more than symbolic, and he doesn't even set off the last one, he just leads his protege to do it for him. Once he's fulfilled his own personal vendetta, he's very much like a puppet master manipulating the strings. V from the movie is definitely more involved. Even though he personally doesn't kill Sutler, Creedy essentially kills him on instructions from V, and then V later kills Creedy. But the dominoes that he sets in motion, though different, are still fascinating. You get the feeling that this V believes more in the power of humanity. When he talks to the people of England, he doesn't talk down to them like his literary counterpart tends to. He lightly admonishes and advises them. And the choice he gives them isn't between do what I say or die, it's listen to my words or don't listen to them, it's up to you. Where the V from the book sees them more as sheep who will either submit to the government or overthrow it, V from the movie sees them as having the power to think for themselves and truly hold their government accountable.
That might be because he's portrayed as more of a human in the movie and not quite as soulless as he is in the book. This makes it easier for us and the people of England to connect with him. We see more of his human side, and Hugo Weaving brings immense power to this character. The way he plays V's human side is very, very subtle. It only gives us glimpses of that part of V, but those few tiny glimpses are so powerful that they allow us to feel that connection in ways that the book just doesn't manage to pull off. It's a trait portrayed, as V says,
as only celluloid can deliver.
But V isn't just a man. In both book and movie, he is portrayed as more of an idea. And the fact that he does come off as more soulless and monstrous in the book really does reinforce that idea. He doesn't act as a human would because he's more than just human.
But the idea of V in the movie is still strong. In fact, I would argue that it's actually stronger because V is portrayed as more human and more sympathetic. The V from the book is fascinating, but we feel more of a connection to the Hugo Weaving character, which is especially remarkable when you consider that we never see any facial expressions. Plus, I just like the idea itself better. The idea of the book was never entirely clear, which, to be fair, is the way that it was meant to be. But the idea from the movie of that 1 inch that they can never take away is shown over and over, especially in the little glimpses of V that we see in the other characters. The ending of the movie especially brings this point home, and although most of the story was very dark and desolate, we're left with a feeling of hope that was somewhat absent in the book. Plus, we get to see in the movie just how much the two entities, V the man and V the idea, are at odds with each other, and how much anguish this character is feeling living this life behind the mask. Just like with the story, it basically comes down to a question of fascination versus palatability. And also like with the story, the movie character has both, and it's simply what works better for this story. So in the end, and I'm sure that Alan Moore purists will hate me for this, I really do believe that the better version of this story is in the movie. Well, I'd like to thank Jesse for helping me out with this review.
Yeah, even though the result was a load of bullcrap. Oh, will you just can it? Your side lost this one fair and square. Come on, man, how could you sell out your favorite form of storytelling? Hey, just because I love comic books doesn't mean I'm so delusional as to think that— Delusional? Who are you calling delusional? This thing is a freaking masterpiece, and I can't believe that anyone who dares to call himself an Alan Moore fan— here you go with the Alan Moore thing again.
What?
You know what, just because he's a brilliant writer does not mean that he's immune to criticism. You're just making excuses, there are legitimate reasons to like this movie better, and you know it. Now no compassion at all for how much Hollywood keeps messing with his
Hugo
stuff.
freaking
And don't
Weaving!
accuse me of being
And
a
the
purist
government,
because
man,
you
the
know that
government,
isn't
you
true.
know
All
how
I'm saying
brilliant
is
the
that
imagery
certain things
is
were
in
made
this
for
thing. Had, we're not like that, are we?
No,
No, of course not.
See you next time, folks.